Come get some.
You can't handle the strong for this one. Are you not entertained?
Dude, what the hell is that? A mud flap? Nice. Alright. That was a complete accident. The football's okay.
No, I thought that's why you put it on.
No, dude, it was cleaning my closet. Alright. You want to lead off? Want me to lead off? Alright. Salud.
Alright, cheers.
Cheers. Milk and alcohol.
Well, what up, peeps? Long time no see. You guys never write, you don't call. What's going on? Except for Tyler.
Right.
You did give us a shout out on Facebook. Thanks,
Tyler
brother.
does. Tyler, you the man, brother. Donut fam. Woo!
Alright, well, welcome back to this, month's version of Donut Bravo Gaming. It's been a long time.
Indeed.
First time shooting at night, so sorry about the shadows. We're trying out the lighting. Anyway, so we'll start in. We're trying to come up with some ideas here. I'm gonna do some gaming trivia. I couldn't get anything on this exact day, but looking through, something we're gonna probably try to start adding in the segments. But I was saying on the 25th of September back in 2007, Halo 3 was released, which, woohoo! I mean, for an Xbox person, I can't really talk about it. I don't even think I ever honestly played it.
Are you serious? Did you love Xbox?
Well, I did play Halo 1 and I played Halo 2. I like them, but I mean, it's just not.
Xbox fanboy fail.
It is. I mean, it's like sacrilege to be saying that because that's like one of our flagship.
Yeah, dude, I mean, like the title.
Yeah, my bad. But maybe I did. I don't know. I gotta look at my. I might have it backwards compatible. I probably did play it. I'm just forgetting about it. But I love shooters, and it's not one of those things that really resonated with me. And I forgot to turn the AC off.
Hey.
All right. Winner.
Chicken dinner.
Anyway, so that was close enough to this day in trivia. So we'll start doing that some more. But John, we'll go to your first topic here.
Yeah. So I would like to do a little thing about news in gaming. There are two big stories kind of right now that are out there that have really sparked our interest that we thought were relevant to talk about. The first one would be a studio that makes all the Telltale games, like Telltale Game of Thrones, Telltale Walking Dead. That company has gone belly up. The ins and outs and the actual particulars of this news is kind of smoky at the moment. We're going to put a bunch of links down in the description. There's some mainstream news outlets that are saying that this is the cause, that's the cause. So all that's kind of up in the air. However, there's also a lawsuit involved, which is pretty bad. But it sucks that a company that has made a good series of games and kind of defined a genre, which originally started as like a hybrid genre, is
old school genre.
Old school,
like
absolutely.
Sierra games.
Yeah, dude, it absolutely does. Like old Roger Wilco stuff. And they're going belly up.
Space Quest.
That's right. And that really sucks, man. Because for guys like us who have been video game heads our entire lives, we're kind of getting older. It sucks to see a company like that we've kind of grown up on, that's been around for a long time, go the way to dinosaur. It's really not cool, man. There's a lot of things involved in this situation. The biggest part being the overhead they have from these IPs, because they're making great games and they're awesome in what they do. There's not a whole lot of overhead in the actual development of the game, but they're paying so much cost and royalties to these other companies to lease their IPs. That there is a massive amount of overhead. So any hitches in the giddy up, like lawsuits, for example, unhappy employees, things like that, will cause the company to go belly up, and that's what happened in this case. Sam, what's your take on this situation?
It is kind of interesting because I mean it's I don't know. I mean, I'd have to look into their finances, but I mean, at the same time, they do make some good stuff. Now, I haven't played every single thing that they put out, but I mean, I will say like the take on The Walking Dead was pretty cool. I played a little bit of the first season, I think, of Game of Thrones. I never did play Borderlands, surprisingly, because I love that series.
Claptrap. What?
But I mean, it's also at the same time, I mean, it's hard to give them a ton of slack in the sense that, like, I mean, the engines were ugly. I don't know how old that thing is. And, I mean, it's a little janky when you're playing it, but for me, I can overlook that in a lot of regards because, I mean, to feel immersed into the story, they actually do a pretty good job on having branching paths on it. And I mean, it's well done. It's definitely tense. I mean, I remember playing the Walking Dead stuff, and I mean, it'll definitely make you jump in some parts, and it's got some cool aspects to it. So I mean, it's a shame to see that way because they are a niche developer, but they've really done some cool stuff. And the thing I was most disappointed about was seeing it is Netflix was paying them to make a Stranger Things series. So and that
would have been really cool.
And I think
that would have been awesome.
Yeah, if anybody in their hands, I think developing something like that with Telltale, I think it would have been pretty damn awesome. So we'll see. I mean, they're still trying to get them to publish it, but I guess if they're not having the backing from any donors or anything, there's nothing that they can really do. So, I mean, hopefully maybe somebody will scoop in and try to pick them up. I've been seeing like THQ Nordic has been buying up IPs like crazy, which I'm happy about because I'm also excited for Darksiders 3 to come out.
Absolutely.
I almost butchered that name. But THQ Nordic. Exactly. But I mean, they picked up a lot of the THQ stuff that they that went up for auction when they went bankrupt. So who knows? Maybe they'll be part of it. Yeah, I mean that's about how I feel. We'll see. I mean, they've got most, I think, the final season done for The Walking Dead. They've got like the final episodes at least planned out, but I think they're only on like season 2 got released and then it got yanked. So I mean, it's kind of that's a shame for people that like the diehard fans, which not me. So, but I do like them. And then the other topic we're going to discuss is EA and their foray into disguised gambling, and,
yeah,
and the EU said no.
Wrong. So going from a story that's tragic because we love these developers and there's a bunch of muddled stuff that happened to, you know, the big asshole in the room type situation.
Why you talk about me like that, man?
I'm so sorry.
I don't feel that way about EA personally. John hates them. I don't.
That is definitely my opinion. Only my opinion, not the opinions of us as a whole. However,
Preparation H does feel good.
All in the hole. Preparations A through G were a complete failure. But I mean, you know, it's my opinion that these ridiculously, I know, right? These ridiculously greedy, you know, megalithic corporations like EA, that just do anything they can for $1, despite, you know, the ethical or moral ramifications of it. I'm trying to keep a straight face. You're not my real dad.
You're welcome, Renee.
You're welcome, Renee.
Snowflake.
Yeah, I know, right? So what has happened is in the European Union, EA in most of its games, especially to this day, puts these loot boxes in there. If you're not familiar with this controversy, and you don't know what you're getting. Travesty. You're purchasing these with real money. And sometimes they can have nothing in them, sometimes they can have good prizes in them. They're priced pretty high, and you have to do a whole lot of purchasing in order to get anything of real tangible in-game value to help you out. And a lot of countries... this
Battlefront 2, exactly. Which I will say that was a little egregious.
Dude, it definitely was. I mean, I love Star Wars. I actually even liked the game, but dude, that was insane. Like, so...
Star Wars,
oh, somewhere around here. Somewhere around here.
You see our walls expanded a little bit, too.
Yeah, our wall has expanded, so thank you folks for that. And our new logo is actually being currently worked on by the artist who did this painting right here.
Now you're going to forget what you're talking about.
I know, right? I am going to forget what I'm talking about. So hopefully, that aside, so get back on track, ADHD folks. So EA, with their loot boxes, breached the gambling laws in Belgium, which was the first country in the EU that this happened in. Shortly after that, Finland took suit, a couple Scandinavian countries, so did Norway. And there are currently 4, 5, or 6 countries that are all...
Are they part of the EU?
Yeah. Pursuing EA in order to, you know, get them, like, currently you can't even buy an EA game in these countries because of this. So EA, instead of being, you know what, bro, our bad, we're going to fix this, we're going to back off like they did with the Battlefront 2 controversy, they lawyered up and went, you know what, EU, get some of this, we're EA, we got billions of dollars, we're going to fight you. So I'm interested to see how this pans out, but with countries, you know, by the week jumping on the bandwagon to ban this stuff in Europe, in the EU, I really don't think EA's got a chance, but they do have a whole lot of money. So, you know, with that much money and those many lawyers, you never know what might happen. So interesting developments to come in the future. I mean, the ethical and moral implications of this disguised gambling, I mean, what's your thoughts on that, Sam?
Yeah, I was going to take a drink. Excuse me.
Well, go ahead and do it.
No, honestly, hopefully if there's like maybe it'll have a cascade effect on the industry, because I mean, I don't mind microtransactions or stuff like that that don't break the game. But I mean, it's hit or miss. I mean, it disguises something like that as gambling. I mean, I can see why they're going after them, and to be quite honest, I mean, I wouldn't be upset if they lost the case, and you know, if that does have some kind of, like I said, a rippling effect through the industry. I mean, it's not going to affect, obviously, what they do here. But at the same time, if they have to cut out a lot in the industry, it might maybe change the model and then have them stop doing this shady type stuff.
It's definitely shady.
Yeah, it is. So,
I mean, you have little kids. The original reason this sparked in Belgium is because some 12-year-old child stole his mom's credit card while she was at work and ran up like $1,000 in loot boxes in FIFA. I'm pretty sure the game was FIFA. We'll put links in the description to make sure I'm correct in these facts. And that sparked a civil lawsuit, which sparked a legal action against EA in that country, which is how all this came to pass. So here we are months later. I personally am on the side of morality in this one. When your target demographic is children, I don't think gambling, fake gambling, gambling disguised as fake gambling, none of that shit should be in a game. Like, I really don't think it should. That's my personal opinion. Everyone's got an opinion. It is what it is. But we're going to move on because that's enough negativity.
Hey, well, what happens in like Diablo 3 with all the random generated loot? What happens there?
Well, there you go.
Yeah, I guess it's not. I don't know. Maybe that's a stupid comparison, but
yeah, I mean, I think that's apples and oranges. But damn, I mean,
just trying to get deep here.
Damn, I was trying to do it. Well, on that note, let's drink. Yeah, salud.
Yeah, about that time.
Yeah, let's go EU. Woo!
The Ravens.
Go Eli in your offensive line, bro. All right, so Sam, we'll kick it off next with mechanic/cleaning simulator.
Wrong.
Wrong. Charlie Murphy. Wrong.
Wrong. We're gonna. You're just wrong.
Okay. I mean, I'll accept that
order.
I will accept that.
You heard the order.
I'm sure I did.
You did. Why'd you put that too?
I don't know.
This is gonna be one of
it's like 10:30 at night, folks. I've been drinking since like 5. I don't know what I'm doing. All right.
So
your turn.
Let me get control of this damn show. So John is going to talk about Destiny 2 since he bought the Forsaken.
Oh, I did, and this is a story.
King or whatever it's called, Forsaken or Forsaken King. I don't know.
No, it's just Forsaken. So the latest expansion in the Destiny saga is called Forsaken, and I will say I played enough of it to open up all the areas to get my gear to the point where you'd have to start doing hella grinding to get your gear.
How long you been playing it for?
Like 2 weeks.
Right.
All right. So I'm at the point where like you'd have to start contributing a lot of hella grinding time to get to the raid. So where the normal person stops playing is the point that I'm at. So I feel comfortable kind of giving my opinions on this. I think it's phenomenal for what it is. And the flip side of that coin, I also think this is exactly what the game should have been a year ago.
Sounds familiar.
Right, almost like they did that intentionally, just to keep people hooked and going, kind of like a heroin dealer. I don't know.
I mean, I don't know about
in case you didn't know, it's like playing Destiny 2, smoking heroin, same thing. Same thing. Same thing. But, I really like the content. I really like the content that it is. I do think they took a step in the right direction. I also think this is kind of what it should have been a year ago. I mean, it's really phenomenal in every way. So if you like this type of game, if you like the Warframe/Destiny genre, the shooter-looter, power fantasy type deal, you're really going to like it. You really are. They stepped up the power fantasy. They stepped up all that stuff. The grind, however, they kind of turned up to 11. They went Spinal Tap with the grind, like they really did. So I max everything on this character. I'm at the point, like I said, with the gear score soft cap, where you really have to put in a whole lot of grind time to get past where you're going. You have to start raiding, all that stuff. So that's where I'm at. And I only have one of the new supers unlocked. One. Each character has 3. I have 1. Right.
3 total new ones or 3?
Right, each character has 3 new ones. I only have a single one unlocked out of 9. And I'm at the point where most people stop playing the game. So in that respect, it kind of left a really bad taste in my mouth. Like, why do I have to grind for 1,000 hours just to get my powers? Like, I mean, which should be given to me for leveling up. So this really left a bad taste in my mouth. So had I known that ahead of time, I may have picked one like that didn't suck or I didn't want to use. Like I go into things thinking, well, I'm going to get them all anyway. It doesn't matter what order I pick these in, and just pick, which is what I did. Mistake. Wrong. Right. So make sure if you're watching this video before you play this expansion that you really pick the one you want to play first.
Yeah, that's good to know.
Yeah, I mean, that's some handy piece of information to have right there. Outside of those 2 gripes and the fact that I think this is what the game should have been to begin with, It's good. It's a good game. Like, I really enjoy playing it. It's a breath of fresh air. All my friends are playing it. The new PvP mode in Crucible Gambit is fucking phenomenal because it's PvE, PvE, PvPP. Like fucking, yeah, right? Like Hunt Showdown, the game me and Sam have recently been playing a lot. It's the same type of situation where it's a whole lot of PvE thrown in with PvP. And that mode in the game is really awesome. Like, it's fun as hell to play. So, having said all that, it's not
Battle Royale.
No, it's not at all. It's just like Hunt, more or less. You have 3 main PvE targets.
It's apple and oranges.
Yeah, I know, right?
You did it too.
I did it too!
Alright, anyway, so what would you give it?
So if I had to score this game like every other reviewer in the world does, like Angry Joe, for example, which, by the way, I met in Canada. Big ups, Angry Joe. Didn't realize you were that short. And other Joe gets drunk. I'm a negative, get crunk. Like, he's awesome. So, I don't know. I would have to give it because and the negatives aren't just negatives. They are glaring, punch you in the mouth style negatives. I would give it a 6.5 out of 10. Like, I really would. Yeah. And I'm a kind of a Destiny fanboy, as Sam could attest. So that's kind of where I'm at with it, man. I would recommend you play it. If you like Destiny, definitely buy it. If you're undecided or you've never played it, I wouldn't waste your time or money because you're going to have to pay $400 just to get up to where you were. But that's my Destiny 2 Forsaken spiel.
Yes, I can... I'm on the other side of it. I can't comment on it. I've only ever watched John play it because, honestly, I mean, my stance is I'm not giving him any more money.
Right.
I'm not giving Bungie extra money for Destiny 1.5, 0.2.
1.5, 1.6.
Whatever they want to call it. You know, I mean, I've seen this before, and they did it with Destiny 1 with the Taken King.
Yeah.
I'm not falling for that. This is all stuff that everything that John said to me while he was playing it. Because we were having a discussion the other night when I was watching him. I kind of remember it because we were both drinking.
We imagine that, folks.
But yeah, I mean, that's crazy. But who would have thought? Yeah.
Who would have thought?
But it just seems like everything that they've implemented, the stuff that they could have done with the patch. And it's hard to give a developer like that the benefit of the doubt the second go around when they release a game that has less features than, you know, the very first Destiny 1, the vanilla Destiny 1, in my opinion. And when you have a developer like Warframe, which we're going to talk about that in a little bit.
Developers, Digital Extremes.
Yeah,
game is Warframe.
Right, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, thank you.
I've been drinking for 5 hours, folks.
Do this here for life. It's my income generator.
Right. Yeah, you
Thankfully, it's not. But anyway, the game Warframe, I mean, their developers, Digital Extremes, I mean, they're constantly taking feedback, updating the game. They're always rolling out stuff. I mean, granted, there is stuff you can buy, but they make it reasonable. And, I mean, they have totally changed that game multiple times over. And it's hard for me to sit there and
they listen to their community.
Yeah, and that's the big thing. So I mean, that's why it's hard for me. I don't know if it's Activision owning them, because I do hate Activision overall. Like, I do have major hate for them because I think they are a greedy cocksucker. And there's a lot of bleeps there. Right. But I have no respect for Activision, and it's a shame that they're the publisher for a lot of like AAA games.
A lot of good games.
They do, and I'll give them props. They know how to. They pick the right studios, but I mean, I don't know if that's that culture washing down over Bungie. You know, it's hard to say, but I refuse to play it, which is a shame because I mean, I know how good the game does feel. The mechanics are great. That's one thing I'll never knock it about, but I have no desire to play that, and I'm not going to give them my money. You know, if it's on sale or something, maybe check it out at some point. But moving on, so that's about all. I mean, I kind of want to discuss that since it's a bigger game just released. Give John and I's take on it, which, I mean, you can take it for granted. Like John said, I think that's accurate. If you honestly like Destiny, all your friends are playing it, you're probably going to buy it and you're going to like it. But for somebody like me who has already felt kind of, I was on the fence about him, you know, from the get-go, I'm not going to do it. I'm just not. There's other games that I'd rather pay, you know, for all that you have to pay to invest to play it. I could buy 3 or 4 other good games and totally, you know, get lost in them. So
that's a fact. I mean, just like WoW was back in the day, if anyone remembers the whole World of Warcraft thing, like you had to buy and pay for individually priced all the previous expansions to get to where your friends were playing. And Destiny has done the same thing. Bungie has done the same thing. So the investment that it would take just to get to where you can currently play the game with other people isn't worth it if you don't know what you're getting into. However, if you like Destiny, you will love Forsaken. I mean, that's kind of where it's at.
Yep. Very good. So that's good. So then we'll move on to our what we're both playing right now. John, do you want to go first or do you want me to?
Go ahead, brother.
So, given my
gamer just did that for 10 minutes.
Well, you did, but you've also been playing some other stuff. But given my gamer ADD, I've been playing God of War, the new Spider-Man. What the hell else I got? Tomb Raider. Yep, a little bit of that mixed in. Thanks, man. Appreciate that.
You're welcome.
My whole this is gamer ADD. But anyway, so then I jump over on the computer. I've been playing a couple new games. Well, one's newer, one's not. One's called Mechanic Simulator 2018. It's the dumbest thing. I don't know why I'm addicted to this game.
Dude, it looks awesome though. Like watching him play it, it looks amazing.
Yeah, I think it's 25, maybe 30 bucks, and then there's a bunch of DLC, which is like specific car manufacturers. But I mean, it's the concept of that. Like if you're basically running a mechanic shop. You can take orders, you can fix parts. It actually teaches you a good bit about cars. Taking them apart and understanding you're not going to be able to go get a job as a mechanic. But if you're a gearhead, it's honestly worth checking out. The graphics are pretty good. They're always releasing patches and updates and fixing the performance of it. I think it's called Pop Play. I might be wrong, but we'll
put that in the description. Yeah, absolutely.
But they're good. And then Steam recommended another game called House Flipper, which I don't know why.
Dude, this guy is addicted to this game. Look, let me tell you guys something. So, me and my friend Angela, we were over here tonight. He was playing this game. We went to sleep. We all were drinking, carrying on, having a good time. So, we go upstairs. We go to bed. It's like 4:30 in the morning. She wakes up, goes downstairs to get a drink, comes back upstairs like, he's still playing that game. I'm like, you're fucking kidding. I walked downstairs and peeked around the corner just to see if he was still playing it. And this dude's still squeegeeing windows in the house. Like, dude.
Yeah, so I don't know. It looks like it's 20 bucks, and it looks like it's they're still adding features and stuff to it. But it's the same kind of concept as Mechanic Simulator. So I mean, you basically start with a small house, you take on jobs, you get more income, and then you buy houses, you flip them, and then you're trying to improve them as much as you want to get more money for them from other families and their certain needs and whatever. I don't know why, but stuff like that, and it's really honestly weird, and I'll admit it, because I've got games like God of War that I'm close to beating. Spider-Man, the new Spider-Man. That
you're playing a lot of that.
Yeah, which I do like it, and I'll give a quick take on it because I do want to do a review probably on my channel if I ever get around to doing a video. I do like it. I don't think it's the best game like that I've ever played. There's things with like the mechanics on the swinging around and stuff like that. They're a little wonky, and I honestly think Batman, all the Rocksteady games have better combat overall. But it's definitely a step in the right direction. It's a shame it's only on the PS4. I personally like playing on the Xbox because I like the controller way better. I've always been that way. It's hard. It's odd. Like I even bought that controller that is modeled like an Xbox controller because I hate using the PS4 controller.
Yep. Dude, I did the same thing. Mine's Boba Fett, by the way. Boba Fett, baby.
Spider-Man at a glance, though, I mean, if I was going to give it a score, I'd probably say it's in the upper 8s, maybe 8.5, somewhere in there, because the story's good. But then again, it's hard not hearing the damn it, I just lost his voice. Tom Holland from the new Spider-Man. It's not his voice, so then that kind of detracts a little bit. So it's hard. But I like all the suits, all the gameplay. I don't understand why they keep showing off that one suit with the white spider. I think that looks ugly personally.
Yeah, the suits are phenomenal. Yeah. Like just to cut in on him, he was showing me the other day, like the amount of suits you can get and the different stats and stuff they have on them. Like I think that part of the game in and of itself, because I haven't played it, I'm kind of in a vacuum. It's phenomenal. Like he showed me all the suits, and you got all the different Spider-Mans from the whole existence of the comic, and I think that's really, really, really cool.
Yeah, they did a good job with it. So it teaches me a lot about it because I was never honestly like a Spider-Man junkie growing up. I mean, I love the character in the MCU right now, but so I mean, I actually got to learn a little bit about that, and I'm actually finding it fun to go around and gather all the items. One last thing, I mean, before kicking over to John, I did download the Forza Horizon 4 demo.
Ooh,
freaking phenomenal.
And graphics.
Yeah.
The graphics.
Yeah, and I don't have an Xbox One X, I just have the One S, so I can still do 4K. But I will say between that and God of War are about two of the most recent games that made my jaw drop, honestly. And Forza Horizon 4 is seriously ridiculous. Like what they're doing with that game, it's cool as hell, and I'm definitely, they can take my money.
Just take my money.
Yeah, honestly, and I have the Xbox Game Pass, so when it comes out, it's actually released that day. So they almost did buy the Ultimate Edition, which was like $100, but I figure I'll hold off because I'm getting ready to take a new job and stuff like that, so I don't know how much time I'm going to be able to put into it, especially with my ADD. There's no point in doing something like that when I'm playing like 10 different games at a time.
Dude, tell me about
it. But that's currently what I'm looking at, and I recommend all of them personally. And I mean, obviously my taste is all over the damn place. But the reason I like games like Mechanic Simulator and House Flipper are that, like, if I want to turn music on, or if I want to listen to TV or something like that, or watch a movie, I can turn them on in the background and then just kind of halfway pay attention to this and do something fun that's not, you know, me getting murked by somebody. It's just kind of relaxing games. And maybe it's me getting older. I don't fucking know, but whatever. I like it.
So I think you're fine.
Yeah. So, but that's everything I'm playing.
All right, so
you obviously play,
yeah, I know,
Destiny 2.
I mean, obviously Destiny 2. That certainly is a thing. And in the same vein, I've actually also been playing Warframe, because what I started doing was, started playing Warframe again. I have a lot of hours logged into Warframe. I mean, a lot. Like, if you guys look at my Steam, it's a lot. It's approaching 4,000. Yeah, it's closer to 4K than it is to 3K.
It's not the resolution.
Yeah, I know, that's not a resolution. Jesus. So, the replayability and stuff of Warframe I love. The power fantasy in Warframe I love.
Samasy.
The power Samasy. That's right. So I originally started replaying it again, A, because Sam was doing it, and B, because I wanted to do side-by-side Forsaken with Warframe, just to kind of, because, you know, these games always get compared to each other, because they're direct competition, and they are. Like, they really are. They're more or less the same, you know, they target the same audience, let's say.
Yeah.
It's a good way to say that. And there's a lot of things that Warframe does good that I feel like Destiny doesn't, and then there's other things that Destiny does really well that I feel like Warframe doesn't. And as unpopular as an opinion as this is, I really feel like they both have the same niche and the same target player. Like, I would play both side by side. Like, that's kind of where I'm at with it now, having played a lot in both of these games. I don't think one's necessarily better than the other one, although Warframe is kind of a little bit better than the other one. But, and I say that from a financial standpoint. Financially speaking, fiscally speaking, Warframe poops all over Destiny.
Well, you met the developers too.
Well, absolutely. I mean, at the very first TennoCon, I had VIP tickets to go have brunch in Canada, as they say, to go out, you know, meet the developers, sit down, have a meal with them, talk to them, and that was honestly one of the most humbling and awesome experiences I've ever had in my life. I got to tour. Dude, that's no bullshit. I'm actually kind of tearing up right now. I got a big rubbery one. I got to tour their data center, their facilities. I got to meet the developers. I actually sat right across from Jeff, the guy who does all their motion cap stuff, and he's almost he's actually taller than me. He's 6'6". I'm 6'5". So we got to sit there and talk about that. Like, and me and him, the entire time we were having brunch or breakfast, lunch, whatever it was. By the way, poutine and Canadian bacon is amazing. But these guys were just extremely down to earth, beautiful people. They really love what
sweet love these people.
I do, men and women, all of them. But they have a real passion for what they do, unlike, I imagine, people at EA or Activision do. But they really, I don't know, man, they just kind of touched me right here. And, you know, mad ups to DE. But I think both the products are comparable. I do. I really do. And that's all I'm going to say about this, because this is how this is about. And I'm also playing SWTOR, so Star Wars The Old Republic. They had recently had a new expansion come out. I'm almost done playing through that expansion. And it was actually surprising to me, because once I got to the end, which what I thought was the end, then there's like kind of a sub-story that continues on that branches you off into the PvP segment of the game, where you have your own base, your guild/clan has their own bases and Star Destroyers, and it blew my mind, the end game in this game. Like, if you like MMOs and you like very verbose end game content, you have to give SWTOR a try, like you do. It blew my mind, because you get in these battles which are guild on guild/clan on clan, PvP based, and that's where the end game goes, outside of the raids. I mean, raids are still there, that's still a thing, the PvE aspect. But we had 2 Star Destroyers, a space station, so once our enemy's fleet got within range of our planet and our space station could fire its railguns at them, like, it got nuts, dude. And it's all in the Star Wars universe, and I had wood the entire time I was playing it. Like I'm telling you, dude. Like I was playing it, and he was he was at work. Yeah, no, he was at work, and I'm texting him like, "This is the best end game I've ever played in MMO my entire life." Like I swear that happened, folks.
I got that, and best friends execute pedophiles together.
Yeah,
it really make a lot of sense.
Hey, look, best buddies do execute pedophiles together. It's true.
Speaking of which, we're going to do that after
yeah, there you go. We're definitely going to do that. So, those 3 games have kind of been taking up my time at the moment. There are a lot of things like Planetary Annihilation that me and him just got. I played the tutorial. I know, man. I played the tutorial on that, but not much else. So there's a lot of stuff we're getting ready to do, folks. We have not a lot of time, but a lot of stuff to play. I mean, hopefully that'll get better here soon. As Sam, as he said, is transitioning into a new job. I also think I might be, so my time schedule will get loosened up. You know, I do have some healthcare concerns, so what I do for a living is really hard on me. It's hard work. And then when I come home, I just really don't have the energy or time to do anything because I just sleep.
Yeah, and you'll see that's why we've been doing some more playing together videos on our channel.
Right.
So we're going to try to mix it up and try to still stay at least to one of these a week.
Absolutely.
And I've got some training for like probably the next month here coming up, so we probably won't be doing one of these again. Maybe we'll try to do one again next week.
Right.
And then after that, there'll be a hiatus, but we'll be putting up like hopefully playing together videos.
Yeah, absolutely.
Doing some side-by-side
because we can do that remotely, no matter what. So we love you guys. We're definitely going to try to keep this up as much as we can. That's what we got going on. Hopefully this video wasn't too long for you. Sam, is there anything you want to say in signing off?
Thanks to Angela for getting our keep out sign there.
This one, I still don't know directions. But yeah, Angela got us this one. She's awesome. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so as always, if you like what we're doing, like and subscribe, and look us up on Facebook. It's doing on Bravo Gaming.
It is.
Cheers,
we'll put all these links in the description.
Yeah, everybody's health. Take care of yourself.
Salud. Love you, motherfuckers. Donut Sam.
See ya. Peace.